The summer transfer window is reaching its most intense phase, and as always, the biggest clubs in England are making the loudest headlines. This is the time of year when fans check their phones every hour, when rumors turn into negotiations, and when one massive signing can completely shift the balance of power in the Premier League. And right now, two giants of English football, Manchester United and Liverpool, are making waves for very different reasons. Let's start at Old Trafford. Manchester United's transfer business this summer has already been aggressive. They've spent heavily, bringing in big attacking names like Benjamin Sesko, Matheus Cunha, and Brian Mbeumo. The total spending is already well over £200 million, which is enough to make most clubs call it a day. But United are not done. The word coming out of Manchester is that they have set their sights on one more huge signing, one that could be the final piece of the puzzle in Erik ten Hag's midfield, a player who could transform their game from the middle of the park. That player is Brighton's Carlos Baleba. At just 23 years old, Baleba has already developed a reputation as one of the most dynamic midfielders in the league. Since joining Brighton from Leo last year, he has become a key figure in their setup. Powerful, relentless, technically sharp, and capable of dictating the tempo of a match. His physical presence is matched by a calmness on the ball, and he has that rare combination of defensive bite and creative vision that elite managers crave.
Manchester United see Baleba as a long-term solution to their midfield problems, a player who could slot in alongside their current options and, over time, take full command of that area of the pitch. In an era where top-quality central midfielders are incredibly hard to find, United believe Baleba could be a cornerstone of their team for the next decade. But there's a problem. Brighton do not want to sell. In fact, their stance is firm. Baleba is considered untouchable unless an extraordinary offer arrives. And when they say extraordinary, they mean it. The figure being discussed is over £100 million. That's the kind of price that would not only make Baleba one of the most expensive players in Premier League history, but it could also set a new benchmark for African players in the transfer market. The challenge for United isn't just the price tag, it's also about timing. They've already committed huge sums this summer, and spending another £100 million would almost certainly require selling players first. And that's exactly what they're working on behind the scenes. Alejandro Garnacho's name has been linked with a surprising move to Chelsea. Rasmus Højlund, who only joined last year, is attracting interest from AC Milan. Then there's Jadon Sancho and Antony, two wingers who have struggled for consistent form and whose wages are among the highest at the club. If United can move one or two of these names on, the path to making a serious bid for Baleba becomes much clearer. For the fans, the thought of adding a midfield powerhouse like Baleba is exciting. United supporters have been crying out for a dominant, box-to-box midfielder who can combine strength, stamina, and skill. Someone who can win the ball back, drive the team forward, and make a difference in the biggest matches. Whether the club can pull it off is another question, but the ambition is there, and with the transfer window still open, anything can happen. Now let's travel northwest to Merseyside, where Liverpool's approach to the window is a little different. While United are focused on midfield, Liverpool's eyes are firmly on their defense. Jurgen Klopp has already built a side with plenty of attacking firepower, but there's a sense that the backline needs reinforcing if they are to mount a serious challenge on all fronts this season. One of their main targets is Crystal Palace's Mark Guéhi. The England international has been one of the most consistent defenders in the league over the past few seasons, combining strong tackling with excellent reading of the game. Palace initially placed a hefty £60 million price tag on him, but Liverpool are hoping to strike a deal closer to £35 million. Negotiations are ongoing, and the situation could develop quickly as the window moves into its final weeks. If a deal for Guéhi proves too difficult or too expensive, Liverpool have another option: Giovanni Leoni. At just 18 years old, the Parma defender is already making waves in Italy. Tall, composed, and intelligent on the ball, Leone is considered one of the brightest defensive prospects in Europe. He's also attracting interest from several major clubs, which means Liverpool will need to move fast if they want to secure his signature. Signing a player like Leone would be more of a long-term investment, but Klopp has shown in the past that he's willing to develop young talents into world-class stars. The contrast between the two clubs is striking. Manchester United are aiming for an immediate, high-impact signing in a key position, while Liverpool are carefully weighing their defensive options, looking for the right balance between experience and potential. Both approaches make sense for their current situations. United's midfield has looked vulnerable against top opposition, and Baleba could provide the steel and structure they've been missing. Liverpool, on the other hand, have seen injuries and form issues in defense cost them in recent seasons, and shoring up that area could be the difference between finishing second and winning the league. As the clock ticks down on the transfer window, the pressure is building. These deals are never straightforward. They involve negotiations not just with the selling clubs, but also with agents, players, and in many cases other suitors who are quietly circling in the background. One single phone call can change the course of a transfer. One improved bid, one rival offer, one sudden change of heart from the player. That's what makes this period so unpredictable and so thrilling for football fans. For Manchester United, the question is simple. Are they willing to break the bank one more time to land their man? For Liverpool, the challenge is to act decisively without overpaying. Both clubs know that the decisions they make now will echo through the entire season. A good signing could be the difference between lifting trophies and falling short. As the final weeks unfold, expect the rumors to intensify. Expect surprise bids, last-minute negotiations, and maybe even a dramatic twist or two. That's the beauty of the transfer window. Until the very last moment, nothing is certain. And when the dust settles, we'll see whether Manchester United have managed to land Carlos Baleba, whether Liverpool have secured Mark Guéhi or Giovanni Leone, and whether these moves will be remembered as masterstrokes or missed opportunities. One thing is for sure. The next few weeks will keep fans glued to every update, every breaking headline, and every whisper of a deal. Because in football, the game isn't just played on the pitch. It's played in boardrooms, in private meetings, and in the hearts and minds of those who dream of glory. And right now, the stage is set for something big.